friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel Jane Reads. My name is Jeanette, and today I am going to share my Authors to Zero list for 2026. So I created an Authors to Zero list last year going into 2025. I don't remember when I posted that video. I will have it linked below though. And on that list, I had 11 authors I would like to work on getting to zero, but my goal was to read 5 of them, like to complete 5 of the 11. So here's my list from last year's reading journal, and the ones colored in are the ones that I read. So I'll quickly go over them before I start the 2026 list, because there are some carryovers. So I had Terry Blackstock, Layne H. Blackburn, who I did complete, Lynette Eason, Rachel Fordham, who I did complete, Amy Lynn Green, also completed, Irene Hannon, Liz Johnson, Dani Petrie, who was completed, Sarah Sundin, who was completed, Becky Wade, and Karen Wittemeyer. Okay, so I did end up completing 5 of them. And this does not count. This is what they released as of 2025. If they are releasing something in 2026, which majority of them are, they won't be 2-0 anymore. But I did not carry them over on my 2026 list. So here is my sheet for 2026, and I will go through all the authors. You'll see which ones are carried over and which ones I've added. I will tell you how many books I have left to read as of knowing books that are being released in 2026. Now, if one of these authors all of a sudden announces another book coming out in 2026, well, they're not on my list right now. So this number could change. I do plan on reading any books that are released by Layne H. Blackburn, Dani Petrie, Sarah Sundin, who I know they have books coming out in 2026, but I read them to 0 last year. I do plan on hoping to complete that, like to keep caught up with their works, but I did not include them on this list. Okay, so the first author is Terry Blackstock. So I have 2 full-length books and 4 novellas to read by her, and these are all older publications, like kind of original publications from her. Then I have added Kate Breslin. I have 3 full-length books, and I'm pretty sure 2 of them are part of my 26 and 26 list. So she's a very high possibility, hopefully. Then I have Amanda Cox, who I have 1, the Bitter End Birding Society, which is like highly anticipated for me, and it's on my 26 and 26. And then she has a new release coming out later in the year, I think it's August, called Things We Cannot Keep. So for her, I have 2 that can be read in 2026. Then I have Lynette Eason. So I have her Whiteout novella collection, which she is releasing with Dani Petrie at the beginning of March, I think. Could be February. I think it's March though. So I have that one. Then she has a full-length book coming out later in the year called Twilight Tactics. It's the start of a new series. I feel like maybe July or August, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Then she has a novella, Code Trauma. So that's a short little sweet one. Hopefully, I don't know. Suspense. Then love-inspired suspense books. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 love-inspired suspense books by her. And as of the middle of January, I've already read 1 of those 14. So the list is, so I've got 13 of those plus the novella collection, so 14, 15, and then Twilight Tactics, which is coming out later in the year. So is it possible? I don't know. That's a lot of books by one author. But speaking of a lot of books by one author, My other author who has a long list is Irene Hannon. I really thought I was caught up with Irene Hannon last year. Then I went on her website and realized she has a ton of backlist contemporary romance, which she's in the process of re-releasing as encore editions as she gets her rights back to them and updates them. And so I'm like, wow, that is a long list. So let me check here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Yes, 26 of those. That is a lot of those. Then the next book in the Hope Harbor series is coming out in April, I think. So that is 27 books by Irene Hannon. Again, that is a lot of books by one author. I don't think she will be completed in 2026, but because she was on last year's list, I'm carrying her over. And last year's list had 2 books on it. And I was like, oh, I'm so close. And I was like, oh. So, yeah. Then Dee Henderson, I have 2 books. And one of those books is a self-destruct book. So that is a very high chance, kind of on my mind, that yes, I will complete her. Then I have Liz Johnson, who I'm carrying over from last year, with 2 books remaining. Now again, she might announce another book later this year, but as of this point in time, there's only 2 books for her. Then a new author I've added is Rachel Scott McDaniel. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 books by her. I'm not aware of any coming out this year, but that doesn't mean there won't be some announced. And out of those 7, I've already read 1. So now it's 6. And then another new to me author that I've added is Michelle Shockley. I discovered her last year. Fell in love with that first book. Then I read 2 others by her, and I have 4 books remaining right now. Again, I'm not aware of any coming out in 2026, so hopefully it'll stay at 4 books and I could get her done, because that's not a bad list. Okay, another new author I've added to the list is Darlene L. Turner. I have 5 books on this list. One of them is an anticipated release. It's coming out later in the year, June, July, August. I think July, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I have 3 that I could read right now. And, well, 4 I could read right now. And one of those 4 is a novella collection that she did with multiple authors. So, I mean, I'd only have to read her story in that collection. I probably would read the whole collection, but really it's a novella. So 4, 5, I just missed the new release. Okay, another author who is a carryover from last year is Becky Wade. I have 2 novellas left by her. The Proposal and Love in the Details. But Love in the Details is actually a novella collection. And I think it's 3 stories all written by Becky Wade. So it's not as short as a novella. But yeah, 2. Again, she's an author that I'm not aware of anything coming out in 2026. But she might have something pop up, right? Then we have Courtney Walsh, who is a new author to my list. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 books on this list. One of them is a new release coming out in June. So, I mean, there's 8 I could work on up to June. Probably not, because a few of them are Christmas, so they might wait a while. But yeah, that's not a bad list. There might be a little bit much, though, for one author. We'll see what happens. And the very last author is a carryover from last year, and that is Karen Wittemeyer. So I have her novella collection, On a Midnight Clear, that came out last September. And then I have her new release, which is coming out in February, I think, called Taming Lady Temperance. And so I only have the 2 by her. So she's a very possible author. But my goal, I want to say, yes, I had to double check my goals list. My goal is to complete 6 of these 13 authors to 0. Is that a kind of a stretch goal? Maybe. But if I work on the ones that I only have 2 or 3 books to do, that's like Karen Whittemire, Liz Johnson, Dee Henderson, Becky Wade, Kate Breslin, Amanda Cox. Like, there's 6 right there. And that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That would be 13 books. That's actually not that bad over the course of the year. So those are probably the ones I'm going to focus on. However, there are other books on here that are really high on my want to read list by some other authors. So we'll see what happens. How quickly can I finish 6 of these authors to 0? Or will I still be working on getting 6 by December next year? I don't know. So that is my list of 13 authors I want to read to 0 in 2026. No, that's not right. I don't plan on reading all 13 to 0 in 2026. That is 13 authors I want to work on making progress in reading their full backlist or full published works. Then I will add to this list as books are announced and released. And hopefully I'll mark off some of these authors. We'll see. Have you made an authors to 0 list? I would love to know who your favorite author is that you would like to complete. Like, who is at the top of your list as the author you would like to read all their works by first? For me, I don't know. That's hard to choose. Because majority of these are my favorite authors. And that's why I want to read all their works. But right now, I mean, Amanda Cox, if I read The Bitter End Birding Society, I would be completely caught up until August when her new book comes out. And that is the book that's at the top of my list. So we'll see what happens. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.